Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into, well, a really fascinating piece of tech. It's one that challenges what you might expect from a category often known for just pure bulky utility. We're talking about the DOOGEE Blade GT Pro 5G. Our mission here is basically to unpack what makes this particular rugged smartphone stand out, especially, how it balances serious durability with modern style and pretty powerful performance. I got a detailed review to guide us through this, and I think we're going to uncover some critical insights about what this device really brings to the table.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one to look at. DOG, they've built their reputation on tough phones, right? Dependable. But this model, the Blade GT Pro, it seems to push beyond that typical purely functional design, the kind you usually see. We'll explore how they're trying to achieve that balance and maybe what it signals about what people want now. Reliability without giving up modern features or, well, looks.
Okay, so when we think rugged phones, I think for a lot of us, the image is that sort of chunky utilitarian brick, right? Built purely for function, maybe not so much for fashion. But the review we're looking at, it immediately says this is no ordinary rugged phone.
Yeah.
It talks about a futuristic design, even dynamic light effects on the back. Sounds almost like a gamer phone. How exactly is DOG pulling this off, making it look modern and stylish, but keeping those rugged credentials?
Well, that's what's really intriguing here. They seem to be actively trying to redefine what a rugged phone looks like. It absolutely keeps the core rugged build, designed to survive drops, water, dust. It's got the IP68, IP69K ratings, MIL STD, 810H certification, all that stuff. But then it consciously adds this flair, that dynamic lighting, the overall aesthetic. And I don't think it's just superficial. It suggests a shift maybe from pure utility towards something that also appeals to people who actually care about design. Folks who don't want to compromise on how their phone looks. It might be about reaching maybe a wider audience than just, say, construction workers or extreme sports types.
Right. That's a really interesting point. But a phone's not just about looks, is it? Let's talk about the power, what's under the hood. The Blade GT Pro runs on a 6nm D70825 processor that's paired with, get this, a massive 32 GB of RAM, okay, with memory expansion, but still in 512 GB of storage. That's genuinely impressive for any smartphone, let alone a rugged one. For our listeners who really know their tech, can you break down what those specs, especially that 6nm chip, to mean in the real world, particularly in a rugged phone context?
Absolutely. So looking at the bigger picture, these specs are a real step up for this category. That 6nm process, it's not just a number. It means the chip is highly efficient. So less power draw, less heat generated. That directly translates to, well, more reliable uptime, more stable performance. Especially important in environments where you'd actually use a rugged phone, think extreme temperatures, or maybe just using it really heavily for a long time. Then you add the 32 gigs of RAM, the 512 storage. It means smooth multitasking, great responsiveness. It's not just about speed for browsing. For someone in the field, maybe a professional, it means running complex apps, mapping software, collecting data, handling communications all at once without lag. Even in tough conditions where, a laptop just isn't practical. It's almost like moving from just durable to a field-capable workstation. It performs like a solid mid to high-end mainstream phone. Plus, 5G connectivity is baked in too.
Right, so that efficiency point is key. And that power, it seems like it really shows on the display too, which also sounds pretty unusual for this kind of phone. We're talking a 6.72-inch screen, 120 Hz refresh rate, full HD plus resolution. The review mentions a sharp and fluid visual experience, says scrolling feels smooth, gaming looks far more polished. For a rugged phone, how much does a premium display like that actually help with, function, beyond just making things look nice?
Oh, 120 Hz refresh rate on a rugged phone it's a significant feature. Sure, it makes everything look better, more appealing visually, but it really adds to the whole user experience, makes interacting with the phone feel more premium, definitely more responsive. Think about someone in the field again. It could mean less eye strain if they're looking at data for a long time, clearer maps, just a more comfortable experience reading manuals or watching videos on the job. It really pushes back against that old idea that rugged phones have to have basic, low-quality screens. It shows DOG is thinking about the whole experience, not just the tough outer shell.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about the camera? It's got a 100MP AI-powered main camera. Ugh.
That sounds, well, ambitious for a rugged smartphone. Usually, durability is the absolute priority. Maybe cameras are secondary. The review says shots are detailed and vibrant in good light, and the AI helps optimize scenes. But for a phone that's built to take a beating, is a 100-megapixel camera really a key selling point? Or is it maybe overkill for the typical user of this kind of device?
That's a really good question, and I think it points to how the market might be changing. Traditionally, yeah, you'd be right, camera quality wasn't the main focus. But the trend seems to be that users, even people in demanding jobs or, serious outdoor enthusiasts, they don't want to carry two separate devices. Having a pretty capable 100MP camera with AI means you maybe don't have to choose between your tough phone and getting decent photos. Now, is it going to compete with, like, the absolute top-tier flagship phone cameras for artistic shots? Probably not. But for documenting work on site, quick snaps for social media, capturing something unexpected out in the wild, maybe seeing some wildlife or needing a clear photo of damaged equipment, it sounds like it more than does the job. It makes the phone a much more versatile, kind of all-in-one tool.
That makes sense. And then there's the battery life, which, let's face it, is absolutely critical for any device that's supposed to be dependable when you're away from a charger. This one has a 5800 mAh battery. The review says it ensures long-lasting performance, easily gets through a heavy day, and often stretching into the second day with more moderate activity. Unquote. For someone relying on this phone, maybe in a remote area or just a really challenging environment, what does that kind of battery performance really mean in practice?
Well, for anyone who spends, long hours away from power outlets, that battery capacity is huge, a major plus. It speaks directly to the needs of, say, hikers, field engineers, emergency responders, people who absolutely depend on their phone working all day, maybe longer, without needing a recharge. But it's more than just convenience, isn't it? For some people, in some situations, it's a genuine safety feature. Imagine needing to make an emergency call or use GPS to navigate out of somewhere tricky or access critical safety data, and your phone dies. So a 5800 milliamp battery, especially paired with that efficient 6-millimeter chip we talked about, it means potentially not just one day, but maybe multiple days of critical function when power just isn't an option. That's significant.
Definitely. Okay, so beyond the core stuff, the toughness, the power, the camera, the battery, the Blade GT Pro also seems to cover the modern conveniences and security aspects. It offers both face unlock and a fingerprint reader. It's got NFC support for contactless payments, pairing accessories, and, really important for a lot of people, dual SIM card support. Now, these are pretty standard features on mainstream phones today. But do they add unnecessary complexity to a device where the main point is durability, or do they actually help round out the package?
I think they round out the package. They aren't, groundbreaking features individually. We see them everywhere. But including them in a rugged phone means users aren't forced to give up those everyday conveniences they expect from a modern smartphone. Using NFC for payments on the go, having flexible ways to unlock your phone securely, the dual SIM for managing work and personal lines or for travel, it all lines up. It helps the device feel like, as the review put it, a solid all-rounder with extra toughness built in. It's not some niche product full of compromises. It feels like it's designed to fit into a modern, demanding life, just tougher.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening in? It really seems like the DOOGEE Blade GT Pro 5G delivers on what it promises. A rugged smartphone that doesn't make you choose between being tough and performing well. And it does it all in a surprisingly stylish package. It's built to handle way more punishment than your average phone, but it doesn't feel, well, boring or basic. Kind of an unlikely hero in a category that's often about making trade-offs.
Yeah, it seems like a genuinely compelling option for a pretty wide range of people. Whether you're someone who spends a lot of time outdoors, a professional needing a super dependable phone for work, or maybe just, someone like me who tends to drop their phone a bit too often. It really seems to embody that idea of strength with style. It's pushing the boundaries of what we expect a rugged phone to be.
And maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on. If rugged devices can now reach this level of design and performance, well, what other tech categories are out there where we might be unconsciously accepting compromises? Where else could we maybe demand more innovation next? Something to think about.